Let's continue this literary journey together. Feel free to leave book suggestions and comments in the section below. In Chapter 31, our foreign correspondent, focus is on Amy's experiences during her time in Europe and her correspondence with her family back home. The chapter begins with the March family receiving letters from Amy, who is currently in Europe with their Aunt March. Amy's letters serve as a window into her adventures and experiences in a foreign land. Through her letters, Amy shares her impressions of the places she visits, the people she meets, and the cultural differences she observes. She writes about the art galleries she explores, the beautiful landscapes she admires, and the educational opportunities she embraces. As Amy continues to travel, her letters provide updates on her personal growth and development. She shares her efforts to improve her art, inspired by the great work she encounters in Europe. Amy's artistic pursuits are a source of pride and joy for her, as she works hard to refine her skills and achieve her dreams. The chapter also delves into Amy's interactions with her European acquaintances. She becomes friends with a young French artist, whose advice and encouragement further fuel her passion for art. Amy's friendships and experiences in Europe broaden her perspective and contribute to her personal growth. As the March family receives Amy's letters, they take delight in reading about her adventures and achievements. Amy's stories bring her closer to her family, despite the distance between them. Meanwhile, Amy's sisters also keep her informed about their lives in Concord, sharing details of their daily activities and experiences. The sisters maintain a close bond through their letters, despite being separated by thousands of miles. The chapter also addresses Laurie's involvement in the lives of the March sisters, particularly his close friendship with Amy. He takes an interest in her experiences and eagerly waits for her letters, eager to hear about her adventures in Europe. Our foreign correspondent explores the themes of growth, cultural experiences, and the enduring bond of family. It emphasizes the significance of communication in maintaining connections and relationships, even when physical distance separates loved ones. The chapter also underscores Amy's development as an artist and her determination to pursue her passions, as well as the impact of travel and cultural exposure on personal growth. In Chapter 32, Tender Troubles, the focus is on the developing relationship between Jo and Professor Friedrich Baer, highlighting the tender and complex emotions both characters experience. The chapter begins with Jo visiting New York City during her time as a governess for the Moffat family. While in New York, Jo encounters Professor Baer, who is a close friend of her neighbor, Mrs. Kirk. Professor Baer is a German immigrant and a kind, thoughtful, and intellectual man. As Jo spends time with Professor Baer, she finds herself drawn to his intelligence, his love for literature, and his warm personality. She enjoys their conversations, and they quickly become friends. However, Jo's feelings for Professor Baer become complicated when she realizes that she has developed romantic feelings for him. This revelation leaves Jo feeling conflicted, as she fears that pursuing a relationship with him might jeopardize their friendship or that she may not be the woman he seeks. Meanwhile, Professor Baer is busy trying to establish himself as a teacher and a writer. He sees potential in Jo's writing and encourages her to write with more depth and emotion. Jo values his advice and admires his intellect and wisdom. As the chapter progresses, Jo's feelings for Professor Baer continue to grow, and she grapples with the idea of sharing her emotions with him. She fears that he might not feel the same way or that their age and cultural differences might be an obstacle to any potential relationship. Jo confides in her older sister, Meg, about her feelings for Professor Baer. Meg offers supportive advice, encouraging Jo to be honest with her emotions and to let time reveal the truth of their connection. The chapter concludes with Jo returning to her family in Concord, where she continues to reflect on her feelings for Professor Baer. The tender troubles she experiences emphasize the complexities of love and the emotional journey she is navigating. Tender Troubles explores the themes of love, self-discovery, and the complexities of relationships. It showcases Jo's internal struggle as she grapples with her feelings for Professor Bear and her desire for a meaningful connection. The chapter highlights the depth of Jo's emotions and her willingness to confront her feelings, even as she faces uncertainty and fear about the possible outcomes of her heart's desires. In Chapter 33, Jo's Journal, the focus is on Jo March's personal reflections as she uses her journal to express her thoughts, feelings, and observations during a significant time in her life. The chapter presents Jo's journal entries, which provide insights into her emotional journey and her growth as an individual. It starts with Jo deciding to keep a journal as a way to cope with her tender troubles, specifically her complex feelings for Professor Friedrich Bear. Jo uses her journal as a private space to pour out her heart, describing her internal struggle with her feelings for the professor. She grapples with the fear of risking their friendship, their age and cultural differences, and her uncertainty about how he truly feels about her. The journal entries give readers an intimate look at Jo's vulnerability and her attempts to make sense of her emotions. As Jo continues to write in her journal, she also reflects on her personal growth as a writer. She acknowledges the influence and support of Professor Bear in encouraging her to write with more depth and emotion. Her entries reveal her dedication to her craft and her desire to become a successful author. Apart from her feelings for the professor and her writing aspirations, Jo's journal entries touch on other aspects of her life. She writes about her family and their interactions, capturing the warmth and camaraderie shared among the March sisters. The journal also serves as a reflection of Jo's strong sense of responsibility and her determination to be a supportive sister. She offers encouragement and advice to her sisters, particularly to Amy, who is striving to become a better artist. As Jo's journal progresses, it becomes evident that writing serves as a therapeutic outlet for her. It helps her process her emotions, come to terms with her feelings, and gain clarity about her own desires and aspirations. The chapter concludes with Jo deciding to burn her journal entries about her tender troubles. She finds solace in writing about her feelings but ultimately recognizes that her private emotions should remain just that, private. Jo's journal explores the themes of self-discovery, emotional growth, and the power of writing as a means of introspection. It showcases Jo's willingness to confront her feelings and her development as an aspiring writer. The chapter emphasizes the importance of self-expression and self-awareness in navigating the complexities of love and personal aspirations. In Chapter 34, Friend, the focus is on Jo March and her growing friendship with Professor Friedrich Bear, exploring the deep connection and mutual respect they share. The chapter begins with Jo returning home to Concord after spending time in New York City. Her family warmly welcomes her back, and she shares stories of her experiences and encounters during her time away. As Jo settles back into her routine at home, she finds herself missing Professor Bear, her close friend from New York. She feels a void in her life without his presence and the stimulating conversations they used to have. One day, Laurie visits the March family and finds Jo in low spirits. He encourages her to be open about her feelings for Professor Bear and to consider the possibility of a romantic relationship with him. Laurie reveals that he had previously been in love with Jo but now understands that she sees him only as a dear friend. He has come to terms with his unrequited feelings and wishes her happiness with someone else. Jo appreciates Laurie's honesty and kindness but admits that she doesn't know if Professor Bear sees her as more than a friend. She also expresses her concerns about their age and cultural differences, fearing that they might be obstacles to a romantic relationship. As the chapter progresses, Jo receives a letter from Professor Bear, expressing his affection for her and his desire to be more than just friends. He admits that he has struggled with his feelings for her and that he cherishes their connection deeply. Upon receiving the letter, Jo feels overwhelmed with happiness and surprise. She realizes that her feelings for Professor Bear are mutual and that he sees her not only as a friend but as a potential partner. The chapter concludes with Jo sharing the news of her newfound relationship with her family, who are delighted for her. The March family celebrates Jo's happiness and supports her decision to pursue a romantic relationship with Professor Bear. Friend explores the themes of love, friendship, and the complexities of relationships. It showcases Jo's emotional journey as she navigates her feelings for Professor Bear and the transformative power of their deep connection. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of open communication and honesty in nurturing meaningful relationships. In Chapter 35, Heartache, the focus is on Amy March and her experiences as she deals with her feelings for Laurie and her growing connection with Fred Vaughn. The chapter begins with Amy and Laurie spending time together in Nice, France. They have become close friends during their time in Europe and share a deep bond. However, it is evident that Laurie still harbors feelings for Jo, and Amy is aware of his unresolved affection for her older sister. As Amy and Laurie enjoy each other's company in Nice, Amy realizes that she is also beginning to have romantic feelings for Laurie. She values his friendship and is drawn to his charming personality. However, she grapples with the knowledge that Laurie's heart still belongs to Jo. During their time in Nice, the friends frequently encounter Fred Vaughn, who is also in Europe. Fred is attentive to Amy and shows genuine interest in her. Amy finds herself enjoying Fred's company and appreciating his sincerity and kindness. As Laurie continues to struggle with his feelings for Jo, Amy and Fred's friendship deepens, and they spend more time together. Fred's sincere affection for Amy becomes more apparent, and he expresses his admiration and love for her. Back in Concord, the March family receives news of Amy and Fred's engagement. The family is surprised but supportive of their decision. They recognize Fred's genuine character and believe that Amy and he make a good match. When Jo learns of Amy's engagement to Fred, she experiences mixed emotions. Although she knows that Laurie's heart belongs to her sister, she still feels a pang of sadness, reflecting on what might have been if Laurie had not proposed to Amy. Despite her feelings, Jo handles the situation with grace and maturity. She congratulates Amy and Fred, putting aside her own feelings for the sake of her sister's happiness. Heartache explores the themes of love, friendship, and the complexities of relationships. It showcases Amy's emotional journey as she navigates her feelings for Laurie and her growing connection with Fred. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of understanding and accepting one's emotions, as well as the significance of true friendship and genuine affection in nurturing meaningful relationships. In Chapter 36, Beth's Secret, the focus is on Beth March and her secret act of selflessness, which deeply impacts those around her. The chapter begins with Beth feeling unwell, and her health takes a serious turn for the worse. The family becomes concerned about her condition, and her sisters, especially Jo, stay by her side to offer comfort and support. As Beth's health declines, she confides in her mother, Marmee, about a secret she has been keeping. She reveals that she had been using the limited money she had to secretly help the Hummels, a poor family living nearby. Beth felt a strong empathy for the Hummels and wanted to alleviate their suffering by providing them with food, clothing, and financial assistance. Marmee is deeply moved by Beth's selflessness and the extent of her sacrifices to help others. She commends Beth for her kind and compassionate heart. The chapter also explores how Beth's secret act of charity has far-reaching effects on those around her. Mr. Lawrence, their neighbor, learns about Beth's actions and is touched by her kindness. He offers his support to the Hummels, ensuring that their needs are met. As Beth's condition worsens, her family gathers around her, and they express their love and appreciation for her. Beth's selfless nature and her love for others have profoundly impacted her family and friends, who are inspired by her example. Beth's illness brings her sisters closer together, and they rally around her, providing emotional support during this difficult time. Despite her declining health, Beth remains peaceful and content, finding solace in her family's love and in knowing that her actions have made a positive difference in the lives of others. The chapter concludes with Beth passing away peacefully, surrounded by her family. Her selfless nature and the legacy of her kindness continue to be cherished by her loved ones, and her memory lives on in their hearts. Beth's Secret explores the themes of selflessness, kindness, and the profound impact of small acts of charity. It showcases Beth's gentle and compassionate nature, revealing her deep empathy for others. The chapter also highlights the power of love and support within a family during times of both joy and sorrow. Chapter 37, New Impressions, continues the narrative of Amy's experiences in Europe and the development of her character and perspective during her time abroad. The chapter begins with Amy and her Aunt Carol visiting the grand city of Rome. Amy is fascinated by the historical significance and beauty of the city. As she explores its renowned art and architecture, she is overwhelmed by the richness of the culture and the opportunity to expand her artistic knowledge. During their stay in Rome, Amy encounters Fred Vaughn, a childhood friend and former suitor. Fred, now a grown man, is friendly and attentive to Amy, and they enjoy each other's company as they explore the city together. As Amy spends time with Fred, she notices his maturity and improved character. He no longer exhibits the reckless behavior he once had, and Amy begins to view him in a new light. Their interactions also reveal that Fred still holds feelings for Amy, and it becomes evident that he regrets not having pursued her more seriously in the past. However, Amy does not allow herself to be swayed by the attention from Fred. She remains focused on her artistic ambitions and the experiences she seeks in Europe. In addition to her encounters with Fred, Amy becomes acquainted with a group of distinguished artists and intellectuals in Rome. The interactions with this creative and knowledgeable community inspire and challenge Amy's artistic pursuits. Throughout the chapter, Amy reflects on her growth as an artist and as a person during her time abroad. She acknowledges the privilege of her experiences and the valuable lessons she has learned. Amy's journey in Europe not only broadens her artistic skills but also shapes her character. She becomes more independent, confident, and insightful. The chapter, New Impressions, highlights the themes of self-discovery, artistic growth, and the impact of travel and exposure to different cultures on an individual's perspective. It showcases Amy's transformation as she embraces the opportunities before her and reflects on her own development as an artist and a woman. The chapter also hints at the potential for a deeper relationship between Amy and Fred as they navigate their feelings and the changes they have undergone since their earlier days. Chapter 38, On the Shelf, is a brief chapter that explores the lives of the March sisters, particularly Meg, Jo, and Amy, as they navigate their personal and professional pursuits. The chapter begins with Meg, now married to John Brooke, adjusting to her new role as a wife and mother. She finds joy in her domestic responsibilities and is content with her life as a wife and mother. Jo, on the other hand, is shown to be pursuing her writing career and gaining recognition as an author. She has become successful in her literary endeavors and is proud of her accomplishments. Amy, who had married Laurie, is living in Europe with him. She is depicted as thriving in her life as an artist and is pursuing her passion for painting. Her talent as an artist is acknowledged and appreciated by those around her. As the chapter progresses, the sisters reunite and spend time together. They share their individual experiences and accomplishments, and there is a sense of mutual admiration and respect among them. Despite their different paths in life, the sisters remain close and supportive of each other. They celebrate each other's successes and joys, reinforcing the strong bond they share as a family. The chapter concludes with the realization that each sister has found her own path to happiness and fulfillment. They have all grown and evolved as individuals, staying true to their unique personalities and aspirations. On the Shelf highlights the themes of individual growth, pursuing one's passions, and the enduring bond of sisterhood. It showcases how each sister has found her own way to happiness and purpose, embracing their distinct dreams and talents. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of support and love among family members, even as they embark on different journeys in life. Chapter 39, Lazy Lawrence, delves into the relationship between Amy March and her childhood friend, Theodore Laurie Lawrence, after they reunite during their time in Europe. The chapter begins with Amy and Laurie spending time together in Nice, France. They have grown close as friends during their time in Europe and enjoy each other's company. As they explore Nice, Amy notices a change in Laurie's behavior. He appears less enthusiastic and more dispirited than before. Laurie reveals that he has been feeling listless and unsure of his purpose in life, leading to a state of melancholy. Amy, who has grown to understand Laurie deeply, tries to offer comfort and encouragement. She shares her own struggles and experiences, providing support to her friend. During their conversation, Amy brings up Laurie's musical talent, which has always been a source of joy for him. She suggests that he use his musical abilities to find purpose and fulfillment. Laurie takes Amy's advice to heart and begins composing music. He finds solace in his creative endeavors, and his passion for music reignites. As Laurie dedicates himself to his musical pursuits, Amy continues to paint and grow as an artist. They share their respective artistic achievements and continue to support each other in their individual passions. Their friendship deepens as they spend more time together, finding common ground in their artistic endeavors and their shared experiences in Europe. In the chapter, Amy and Laurie's relationship is depicted as a mature and supportive friendship, devoid of any romantic entanglements. They understand and value each other's talents, offering encouragement and inspiration. Lazy Lawrence explores the themes of friendship, self-discovery, and finding purpose in life. It showcases Amy and Laurie's deep connection as friends and their willingness to support each other's artistic aspirations. The chapter emphasizes the importance of meaningful relationships and the transformative power of pursuing one's passions in finding fulfillment. Chapter 40, The Valley of the Shadow, is a poignant chapter that follows the March family as they face a difficult and emotional time when Beth's health takes a serious turn for the worse. The chapter begins with the family gathering around Beth's bedside as she becomes gravely ill. Beth's health has been declining, and her condition is now critical. Her sisters, Meg, Jo, and Amy, as well as their mother, Marmee, and family friend Laurie, offer comfort and support during this trying time. As Beth's illness progresses, her loved ones are deeply affected, and each family member deals with their emotions in their own way. Jo, in particular, struggles to accept the gravity of the situation, and her pain is evident as she clings to hope for her sister's recovery. Marmee remains a source of strength for her daughters, providing comfort and guidance during this challenging time. She tries to prepare them for the possibility of losing their beloved sister while also encouraging them to cherish the time they have together. Throughout the chapter, Beth's kind and gentle nature shines through, even in her suffering. She remains composed and selfless, comforting her family and reassuring them that she is at peace with whatever may come. The chapter also explores the ways in which the family finds solace and support in their faith and in each other. They pray together and draw strength from their bonds of love and sisterhood. As Beth's health continues to deteriorate, her sisters and mother remain by her side, offering love and comfort until the end. The March family faces the painful reality of losing a cherished member of their family, and they grieve together. The Valley of the Shadow explores the themes of love, loss, and the resilience of the human spirit. It showcases the March family's unwavering support for one another during the most challenging moments of their lives. The chapter also emphasizes the importance of treasuring the time spent with loved ones and finding strength in faith and familial bonds during times of great hardship. Thanks for watching our book summary. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button below and consider subscribing to our channel for more captivating book summaries. Your support means a lot to us.